Hello and welcome to class. This is AutoCAD 2D, a beginner's course in the use and operation of AutoCAD, one of the most popular computer-aided design and drafting platforms, which has been around since 1982. My name is Craig Bailey, and I've been a long-time user of AutoCAD and many of its civil engineering variants. This video has been developed as a supplement to a semester-long course which is delivered to students at New Hampshire's NHTI, Concord's Community College. I've been working in the land development industry my entire career. I hold a PE license and I'm a licensed land surveyor. Let's take a look at the topics to be covered. We're going to take a look at templates and font styles and talk about what is a color-based line weight, what is an AutoCAD template, and also start to download our course templates from our website. Then we're going to take a look into the layer system and talk about the layer manager and what a layer is and how we can organize the layer manager. And we'll briefly touch on the difference between freeze, thaw, and on and off. Finally, some additional geometric tools that we're going to look at tonight. The offset command, the copy command, scale command, fillet command, and we'll be editing some polylines with p-edit, and also the explode command. And so, without further ado, let's begin. Nothing yet. Oh, there it is. Got it.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah, guys, I'm sorry about the confusion with the books. We will get to that tutorial book. The tutorial book, there are many labs that came out of this tutorial book, and we're only in week 3, so we'll get there. I actually think the tutorial book is really kind of basic, and so I was front-loading you guys a little bit with putting you into the technical drawing book. Just want to see what you got. All right, so which one is this?
This is the V slide.
Which project?
It's the homework.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. I don't memorize them. Which one is it?
It is exercise 2, page 109 if you've got 2020, 111 if you've got 2021.
Wow, you're good.
Well, we just had this full discussion. So.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm with you. I'm on board. Okay, and so you are doing the V slide, you said?
Yeah, the V slide plate, exercise 2. I mean, I have them all up with as far as I've kind of gotten.
Plate chapter in your textbook. The textbook is the tutorial book. That's why I was getting totally confused. All right. Chapter 2. Yeah. All right. I'm on board. V slide plate. I know we're on. Okay, Michelle.
Yes.
All right. Let's take a step back and let's just everybody take a look at that drawing of the V slide plate. What do we see here? Literally take a step back and let's look at the overall. And they give you a little bit of a hint that says the design has 2 sets of parallel lines with implied tangency. Okay? What does that mean? So the 2 sets here would be I'm going to see if I can request remote control. Is that okay, Michelle?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right, so what I'm seeing is this guy here will have an opposite line, and I'm not going to do it correctly, but I'm going to just kind of eyeball it, shut off the OSIN.
You may have to adjust my snaps and stuff.
So we have to deal with this guy here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then this side here will also have a similar, parallel line. And so what have we seen so far that makes parallel lines?
Wait. Are we mirroring that outside line to the other side of the circle?
That's exactly right. You have multiple ways of doing this. Mirror would do it, or the offset command. All right.
And you would offset at the diameter of the circle?
But I'm still looking here, and I'm looking at the geometry, and the only hard measurements that we've got are the 2.2 central measurement and the 4.7 vertical measurement. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so what you're missing here is the construction line. And we probably didn't talk a whole lot about that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something that we haven't done yet, and it's a good tonight is better than any. I'm going to start the layer command, and I'm going to open this up a little bit, and what we're going to do is I want to occupy the construction layer. And so far, up until tonight, we haven't really worried much about layers, and we've just used layer 1 or layer whatever. I'm going to try to get it. I'm going to grab this thing opened up here. Come on. Okay. So far we've only been using, we don't care what layer we're on. And it looks like you're on layer material 01. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to occupy a new layer by double-clicking that layer, and it's called underbar construction. What's special about underbar construction? The little printer symbol has a no sign on it, which means this is not going to plot. This is what we call a non-plotting layer. And so I'm going to close the layer manager. And one of the tools that I absolutely love is the X line, okay? And simply, it's up here somewhere. It's probably under the draw. You know, to actually know where it is, I probably couldn't tell you. Draw, it could be this guy right there. Yes, the X line. All right, so I'm going to start the X line on the construction layer. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to recreate that central dimension line, and I'm going to use the center point of your circle. An X line, and then I'm going to go F8 to put it into ortho mode. I'm just going to shove it vertically, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let me zoom out. Let's try to get to the end of that X line. Can't do it. An X line goes on forever. All right?
So it's X for infinity.
That's right. It's totally just for construction purposes only. And if I can offset that line, so I'm going to just run the offset command, or you guys probably prefer to use the offset tool up here. Yeah. I'm going to offset that. What distance? That's a 2.2. And so type that in and pick Mr. X line construction line and just click to the side that you want to set it. Now, I see that you've got your center mark here, perfectly done. And you've got a radius, that's probably a 0.875 radius, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, it's a 90 degree corner up here. I'm looking at the, you've got it set vertically correct. You've got that set correctly.
Yeah, that's kind of where I kept getting tripped up, is that 90 degrees and how to get it there.
Yep. Here's what I would do. And this is a tough one, I'm not going to lie. This is a tough one, but what we're doing here, we're not only drawing, but we're also doing geometry. And so I'm going to start the offset command. Okay. And I'm looking 2.2. This is a tough one. Implied tangencies. Wow, you're making me think on this one myself. Got that circle there. Oh, I got you. All right. Yep. let's take a look at that circle in the center. And let's chop it off at the midpoint, okay? And so again, we'll do an X line from the shift center O-snap of the crotch circle, let's call it. And we're still in orthomatic mode, so there it is. And let's just get rid of, by using the trim command, the top half of the circle. And I'm not suggesting that piece is exactly a perfect semicircle. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is we have an implied tangency situation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And what does that mean? Well, geometrically that means a line. I'm going to start in fact, I'm going to do an X, I'm going to do a ray. What is I think it's just ray, but the tool is this guy right here. This is a ray, and a ray is like just only half of an X line. Starting the point at the center of that crotch circle, shut off orthomatic, and where am I going to draw this? I'm going to draw it perpendicular to the outer edge. Okay, hit escape to be done the X-rays. Sorry, the rays. Now, can you continue the project? Do you see it? I do see it now. In fact, I'm so confident in you, Michelle, I'm gonna let go of command control. Go ahead.
God, that confidence is one way. I have no idea what to do next.
Okay, let's talk it through. So, the project told us implied tangency.
Okay.
And a line, let's talk about that crotch circle, the central circle first. And a line is going to be tangent to it and also parallel to your outer edge. Where do you suppose it's going to hit it?
I want to say that it would run from this intersection to about here.
I want to say the same thing. Like it would go
tangent to the circle?
I want to say the same thing. I'm inclined to think that. And so what I'm suggesting is we offset that outer edge through the point of intersection. So start up the offset command.
So how would I...
Now, before you do any more clicks, look at the command line and tell me the options that we have to modify the offset command.
Through, erase, and layer. So we would use the through?
Correct. That's correct. So type T to modify the command. And now you may continue. Go ahead, and it's telling you to select the object. Yes.
Okay.
And now it's saying what's your through point.
So
and now
here.
Shift right click.
Intersection.
Yes, correct.
Here.
Very good. Yes. Yes. Okay. Chances are that's the correct answer.
Looks right.
I think it does too. Even though we clearly have something going on with that upper right hand circle, but the model in the textbook doesn't indicate that we're tangent to that circle on the inside. It only indicates that we're tangent to that circle on the outside.
All right.
So here's what I would try to do. I would like to
extend this line.
Yes, you can, and you can even use that X line as your boundary.
Okay.
Keep going. Perfect. Nope. Oh, yeah.
Where'd it go? Okay.
Go ahead and click it. Yeah. Good. Good. Now, one of the rules of this exercise is implied tangency.
now I've got to get a line that's perpendicular to this line, but also tangent to the circle.
That's correct. Yeah. Now, the tangent O-snap override does have a deferred tangent capability. Let me say that again. A line, when you start it with the tangent O-snap, does have the capability of being a deferred tangent. So you need to draw a line starting from the tangent of Mr. Circle on the upper right. Now start your O-snap. You shift right click.
Okay, want to do tangent.
Yep. Hover over your circle and watch. See how it's, click it. See how that's deferred? The tangency is deferred. Now where are you going?
Okay, so now I want to go to this line, but I also want to be perpendicular.
Yes, you do.
Here we go. Is it going to snap? Am I just...
It should snap. If you zoom in on it a little bit, go ahead and zoom in with your mouse wheel. Go ahead and click there, right there.
Okay.
Okay. Did everybody see what just happened there? It kind of hopped up so that it's perpendicular to the inside line, but it maintained the tangency. I think that's right.
Okay, so now we can start trimming things.
That's correct.
Can I also get rid of these X lines?
You can indeed. In fact, you might not want to, but it's personal preference. When we start getting into the heavy-duty designs, you're going to need these X lines to do these offsets and the perpendiculars. And we're going to end up, at the end of our class together, our models will be so full of crap, but the paper space are the production drawings, okay? And so I would actually suggest to you to leave the central X line for now and maybe get rid of the ray and that right-hand X line. That's about it.
Yeah, I was just going to get the horizontal and the tangent one out of there.
That's cool.
Just to clean it up a little bit.
Yep.
So, trim, trim.
That's the next line. You can't trim that one, but you can trim that little. Yep. Zoom in on there. Get a little closer. Yep. Don't be bashful. Get right in there with the zoom every now and then. Perfect.
Okay.
Can you zoom in on that central circle and to show everybody that there's a little bit of a hangover on both sides of the point of tangency? See that?
This one?
Yep. And so that's going to get cleaned up as well. Now, Michelle, you mentioned earlier a mirror option, the mirror tool, and that's exactly how I would do it as well. Which means you have more cleaning up to do.
Can I try and just mirror those two lines?
I would mirror the whole damn thing.
The whole thing? Okay.
Yeah. So we started. I want you guys to take a look at the P edit. So Michelle, on the command line, start the P edit. That's one word. P edit. Good. And start selecting the outer perimeter parts of your model. Yep. And look what it's asking us. It says, do you want to turn it into one? Yes, we do. Right now, it's probably just a line, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Now use the join command. So the P edit is a multi operations. Go ahead and pick around your model. Pick the top one there and the inside and the arc. And make sure, and just double click for me the horizontal bottom line too. Perfect. And hit enter or return. And now hit escape to close. No, escape to end the command.
Escape to enter the command?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Select that part. See how it all highlights?
Mm-hmm.
Clean that up. Trim it off on your X line, on your central X line. Good. And get rid of the stuff on the left.
I was gonna try. I was just gonna straight up delete this half.
I totally agree.
Gone.
Okay.
So
Now fire up the mirror command.
where's my O snap? F8 for the O snap, right?
Nope. F3 for the O snaps.
F3. I just want to follow. That is open.
All right. Yep. Good.
F3.
Hit enter. Hit enter. Yes. That's it. Erase source? No.
I want to erase the source.
No. Okay. Awesome. Now, I'm going to harp on everyone on this one. Michelle, please connect those two polylines so that you have one big polyline. And I'm going to start harping because in order to extrude things and get into the three-dimensional approach of AutoCAD, you don't ever want to have separate line segments or arc segments. Perfect. Perfect. All right, Michelle, what I'd like you to do is go ahead and just do some rough dimensions, and let's see how close we got it.
Okay. Should I keep it 1-to-1?
It's fine. It's just in model space, and we don't need the dimensions for the homeworks. So let's see the 2.2 dimension. So you nuked your center marks. I'd put those back.
I'm going to do that now. It's all in construction now, but.
And that's okay. And frankly, that's where it belongs. You know, the center marks belong on the construction layer.
That's not for that, so we're going to do. No, I should have kept that next one there.
Pick the center mark down there. Go ahead.
Down there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Click.
I was having this issue a little while ago.
Now get the mouse out of there until that dimension flips back to horizontal. See now? There you go, right there.
Okay.
Yep. Perfect. Now, obviously, 2.2 is close to 2 inches and 3/16. That's fine. Good. Show us a radius mark on the outside.
I can just put that. Okay.
Yep.
That one. This one.
Yeah, I think you may have clicked twice. The sunburst dimension is really finicky, and if you just want to smash it, that's probably the best way to do it. Yeah, good. 7/8 is probably 0.75. Yeah, no problem. Good job.
It zooms out when I do that. I don't know why. So if the 220 is 1.275, radius here 2.75, 470 radius there. So the only thing I'm missing then is the angle for here.
Yeah.
How do I do angles again?
Go ahead. You'll be surprised. The sunburst dimension tool is really cool. Don't pick the vertice. Pick line 1 and then line 2.
Okay.
And go ahead and pick the second one. There you go. Yeah, and now you can toss it in there. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, the sunburst dimension is really powerful. Not bad, huh?
Oh, looks a lot different than when I did it.
Well, it's just a that's what we're doing. We're training. We're tuning up your eye, and the eyeball behind the mouse needs to know what's parallel, what's perpendicular, and tangent. It really is just math class, graphically. Yep. Good job. Okay. Let's let
sharing.
let's let somebody else.
All right. So
Cool.
I really struggled with my center circle. I don't know why. So I'd love to go through that. I did it like 8 different times.
Yep.
Me
too.
Okay. And then, you know, yeah.
Okay, cool. And so this is on the book that I've got right now open is the 2021 book. It's on page 220 in the technical drawing book. So, folks, what you'll see, I know you guys were talking earlier about the textbooks, and that's good. What you'll find is the technical drawing book is a little more applied, and the tutorial book is a little more, let's teach you AutoCAD. Okay, so I feel like the things coming out of the technical drawing book are probably a little more challenging. Okay, and I did that with great presence of mind. And so looking here at the project, the GeoQuick project, 4.1, I'm gonna focus on the starting image on page 216, and I want to caution you all. I want to caution all of you to do not get into the trap that you are following the words verbatim, because what that will do in the long run will cause you pain. There are about 6 ways or half dozen other ways to do everything in AutoCAD, and so I had to read the I had to read the instructions myself a couple of times, and there may be better or different ways to accomplish it. That's all I'm saying. And do not, I'm not grading you on how well you can read. That's not English. This isn't English class. I'm grading you on how well you can interpret the darn diagram to recreate the part. Let me say that again. I'm more interested in how you interpret the diagram, and if you did it in 50 steps or 5 steps, whereas the book does it in 37 steps, who cares? All right, so let's take a look at this one here. The diagram is showing that great big 1.5 inch circle located at 1.5 right of the left-hand piece and 1.625 up from the bottom piece. And so the trick to this one was the from OSNAP. And I admit that I don't use the from OSNAP enough. I think I should use it more because it is really cool. So Genevieve, if you wouldn't mind, please zoom in on the lower left-hand corner of the part. Okay, great. And start the circle command. Anyway, either from the command line or from the pick me. So you still haven't started it. Go ahead and do the drop down before you go. Do the drop down below that circle button. Good. What do we see here, guys? We see the first one is center radius. The second one is center diameter. All right. And the book has been hog wild about diameters. They always talk about circles with diameters. So go ahead and choose the center, diameter option. Good. Do not pick that corner. Shift right click, please. Okay, does everybody see what's going on here? Hold on, hold right here. Genevieve has a command running. She has the circle command actively running on the command line. The AutoCAD is sitting there idling and saying, okay, where do you want me? 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 In the middle of the command, what she did is she hit shift on the keyboard, right click on the mouse, and we brought up the OSNAP menu. The second tool from the top of that little click menu is from. Go ahead and left click that. Now I want everyone to direct your gaze to her command line and see what it says. It says from base point. Now please click the left-hand lowest corner of the part. Good. Now type the @ command, the @ symbol. Stop. Everybody, I want you to feast your eyes on the heads-up display on her cursor. The @ symbol is now displaying, and the first line, the first number is highlighted as a 4. Please type 1.5. Tab key 1.625. Enter. Okay. The from OSNAP is a deferred base point placement. What I mean by that is it's asking you for, okay, I'm going to start a circle, but where do you want me? And typically it needs the base point. The from defers the actual base point of the circle as a secondary selection. Go ahead and type, what is the circle now supposed to be? It's supposed to be 1.5 diameter. Go ahead. Enter. Done. Okay. This exercise, the key of this exercise is that from command. The from command is almost like a transparent command, how it gets kind of stuffed inside, or sorry, it gets nested inside of an actual running command. Okay. All right, where are we going with this next? I don't think any of your circles are right.
Hey. All right, they're the right size. My array is spaced. I don't know why it's spaced like that. I entered 2 or something. I don't know.
I can tell you just by visual inspection, those circles are not right. What did you choose when you entered the size of the circle? Did you type the radius or did you type the diameter?
I typed what I read in the book.
Fair enough. The default, when you start the command out of the box, fresh from the command line, the computer is defaulting to expect the radius.
Yeah.
We have to do something to switch it into the diameter mode. So start the command line, start the circle command from the command line, please. Good. Okay. Now we can do go ahead and pick the center point. Let's do the lower right-hand corner. I'm sorry, do the lower right-hand corner circle. That's the lower left here. No, yeah, perfect there. Yeah. Now hold here. The command line is saying, okay, specify the radius of the circle, or, and then we have something in braces, type D.
Yeah.
Type D right now. And what that does is it switches the command into expecting a diameter. And now,
Okay.
what do they want that? They wanted that to
It's
be
like 0.375, I think.
correct.
Okay. Yep. Well,
And
that.
yep. Go ahead and nuke that other one.
Yeah.
So this is good. I'm happy. You guys, you've got the circles in there. You had the right location for the circle, except for the big 2-inch one there. But whatever. It's just a speed thing. You're just going too fast.
Mm.
All right, nuke that array.
There's no way to change the circle size because everything else is right.
I'm not going to show you how. Go ahead.
Sorry.
I don't want you to cheat yet. Not yet, at least.
Okay. Back in here.
So before you do this circle, I think there's one thing that you're missing. Can you say what I'm going to say? Can you guess what I'm going to say?
No.
The location of that first circle is concentric to the fillet radius.
Mm-hmm.
I would start with the fillet radius. Okay. I heard somebody mention a fillet, which they need to be corrected on. It's a fillet.
That would be my wife's doing, not me. Just want to be clear.
Fair enough. So go ahead and fillet radius the lower left-hand corner with a radius of 0.375.
.37.
So
R.
So
correct?
yes, good, perfect. Yep. Nice. And now you can go ahead. Nope. Other side,
No?
other side, other side,
Yeah.
other
This
side,
one?
other side, left-hand side.
Oh, this one?
Hit escape.
Okay.
Start over.
Brain.
Not
Oh.
redraw. Fill it.
Yes, thank you. R. Okay. And then I can hit enter.
Yes.
And then this one.
Correct.
And then that one.
No.
What?
The left one.
This one?
Yeah. Yep.
I said, oh.
So you see what I'm doing? Now, I kind of like to work from the outside in on developing these models. And now I can clearly see that well, I'm not lying to you when I say that circle is concentric to that fillet. And it's probably written in the textbook somewhere that it is in fact concentric. Right here. Yeah, it is. It's concentric. So go ahead and do a circle.
What? Am I doing the little circles for the array?
Yep. I've used the word concentric several times. That means use the center point of the fillet. Not the midpoint. All right, zoom in. What are you afraid? Get in there. Zoom in on that. There you go. Hit escape. You'll have to start this one over. Start your circle command. Yep. Specify this. Now shift right click. Which O step do I want to use? Center.
Oh, here it is.
Yep. And now hover over the fillet. Oh, your snap is on somehow. You turned on your snap. Yep. Yep.
What? Did I not turn it off?
Snap settings.
Oh, there we go. Oh, it's on the other screen. That's
Yep.
right.
Sorry.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
See how you get to the you're getting the center. Perfect. See that? Go ahead. Click it. Oh, get over there.
What?
There's a lot going on. Hit escape. We missed it.
Okay.
There's a lot going on with these O snaps. The O snap. So in your brain, what has to happen is you need to know a couple things. You need to know a crap ton of things. Okay. You need to know what geometric object we're going to create. In this case, we're going to create a circle. You need to know where it's going to be, and then you have to adjust the command so that it's pulling from the center of right there. Click it. See, and you got to watch your cursor. Good. And now type D for diameter. I think it's a 0.25.
Just 0.25?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
Yep. And now you can go ahead and fire off the array. And and I like to do the newfangled way up in the ribbon, but you can do it from the command line also. Yep. Try the command. Try the ribbon.
Up here?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Distance between the row is, I think, 2.75.
Okay.
Click any one of those other cells to make kind of set it. There we go.
Oh, okay. All right.
And now you can close the array.
Okay.
Now, very good. So you can visually see that those circles on the lower left are concentric to the fillet. You can see that the circle on the lower right is also concentric to that fillet. And I would have to have you dimension, which I don't think I did in the homework, but so it's okay. I would probably need you to dimension the center point of that big 1.5-inch circle to verify that you did the offsets. And so make sure that your perimeter is a single polyline, always.
Yeah, I was hoping you would say that because I don't. Do I just select polyline and then highlight everything, or
nope. You're gonna actually convert them. You have to convert them to a polyline. So hit escape.
Okay.
And we're gonna start the P edit command, the polyline edit command. So just type it in. I don't know where the heck you could find it. I really don't. Yeah. And then start selecting your outer pieces. It's gonna squawk. See that? Do you want to turn it into one? Yes, you do. Hit enter for yes. Now type J for join. Enter. And pick around. Pick all the parts, including the 1, 2, 3 around the little arc segments.
What did it do?
It's all right. You can keep going. And now I want you to select a little bump out with a crossing.
The bump out. This piece?
Yep, do it. Show me a crossing.
I can't do that.
Okay. You're going to click in the empty space to the upper right part of the bump out. Yep, click there and drag to the left, down to the left. Okay, that sure is dragging to the lower left. Yep. See what you did? But you probably didn't because you already had them selected.
Okay.
Hit enter. And hit enter to finish this job up. There we go. Now pick one of your segments, just to make sure that it's still, you glued it together.
Okay, yep.
Okay, so now it's glued together as one object. That's the right way to do it. And so when we get to the next step of our world, and we're going to expand that, we're going to extrude that piece a 1/4 inch in the Z direction to make it a 3-dimensional object. So you can't do that unless those polylines are in fact closed polylines.
Oh.
All right, so very good. And very good. Any questions? Would anybody else like to critique Genevieve's work? That's fine. And we don't have to keep beating this one either, because we do have new stuff to learn tonight anyways. I guess my main point on my main takeaway point is this. I am not trying to teach you how to make widgets. And that's what these exercises are. These exercises are, make me widget number 1703. That's not what this class is about. This class is about, let's give you guys all of the tools so that you can figure out with your own brains how to model these widgets. Because eventually we're going to get into, we're going to do a footprint of an apartment or a building like that. We're going to take a look at some elevation views. This is the intro class to AutoCAD. And to some of you, it's probably the intro to class to CAD. And so that's why I think we're doing okay. I think you guys are progressing at the right rate. Anybody else have any other issues? The swivel base looked pretty easy, actually, if you ask me. So you guys probably get that running all right. You guys want to do the sensor mount real quick on page 232 in their textbook? All right, how about I'll bang it out. Let me fire up AutoCAD. Now, the sensor mount is going to be a toughie because of the lack of straight lines on it. And so I'm looking at this already, and I'm like, oh my God. But again, break these things down. And I don't care if you're designing a parking garage or you're designing a swivel mount for some sort of a mechanical shop. Break it down and get the central geometry in there first. And that's in this case, that's your X line. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just start I'm going to share AutoCAD.
Do you want us to try and follow along?
I think that'd be fantastic. Yeah, definitely try to follow along. Let's see here.
What page is this on again?
This is on page 2-32 in the tutorial book. 2-32 in the tutorial book. I'm trying to share.
It's page 112 if you guys have 2021.
They changed the pages that drastically?
Yeah, I think there were like 10 pages, 12 pages between the 2021 and the 2020 version that Genevieve has.
Oh, wow. Wow. I think I have that book somewhere. Oh, it's in my car. I don't know. I'll go up at break and I'll get that book. All right. And so tonight, for our lesson, we really, actually, believe it or not, we were going to, wrong. The lesson for tonight was to go over layers, and I'll take a look at, we'll talk a little bit of layers on this example. Layer 0, freeze, thaw, on and off, colors, line grouping. And then later on tonight, we're gonna circle back, and we're gonna handle the plot style. And so for this example, we're going to use offset, copy, scale, probably won't use scale, and we've already used fillet pretty much. Parallel controls, I'm not going to do that right now. So this example really does kind of dovetail quite nicely into tonight's lesson plan anyways. And so I started a new drawing using our class template, and just to verify, I'll just check my layer list real quick, and that's what I'm expecting. Okay, about 22 layers, nothing too crazy here. And so while I have the layer manager open, let's talk about layers. And so we've mentioned it tonight already about what the construction layer is, and it's on color 40. And I'm pretty sure. Oh, I didn't actually talk to you guys last night. I was doing a video on this. The color 40. What's special about construction? First off, it's a non-plotting layer. So let's go talk about material 01. Material 01 is color green, and color green will plot out a certain thickness based on our color plot style. And I am going to pull that up right now just so we can talk about it real quick, because I decided that I want to. And I have a PDF, and I'll share my PDF viewer here momentarily. Okay. So here is the plot by color. I'll zoom out a little bit. And first off, I want you to look at color number 1. I know it's not on the left hand. There's a reason for that. Color 1 is under the fine column. Color 2 is under the thin column. And in inches, anything red is going to be plotted out at 0.007 or 0.18 millimeters. Okay. Had a cough. And so color yellow is going to be plotted out at 0.01 inches or 0.25 millimeters. And finally, color 3, green, is going to plot out at 0.014, just a little bit thicker, about 0.35 millimeters than the yellow stuff. And remember from class 1, our primary colors in AutoCAD from day 1 have always been colors numbered 1 through 8. And the reason there's 8 colors is because it went back to the hardware, and we had 8 pen plotters that actually would drop a pen on there. So I've set this template up in the most traditional way, that is color based, and the numbers repeat. So 8 plus 8 is 16. 1 plus 8 is 9. 2 plus 8 is 10. And so every 8 colored numbers, I probably should have some vertical lines in here. Draw a line here. So everything in this column, I'm trying to mark out with red ink here. Every color number in that column will be plotted out at 0.18 millimeters. And so notice how I have just a handful of colors. I have color 80, and then I have color 81, then color 82, and then color 90, then color 91, and then color 92. They're all roughly green, right? So we don't plot with color, we plot with line weight. The only reason for the color in AutoCAD for us is so that we can distinguish different layers from each other. And so if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, I'm going to erase my little annotations here. There we go. If I scroll all the way down to the bottom, you can see that we only have 255 basic AutoCAD colors. These are the standard colors. And all the way down to this line, 248 through 247, these are going to be plotted out as black. Once I get into 249, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, these guys are going to be plotted out as grayscale. And finally, 255 is white. It'll be plotted out as white. And what that means is it's not going to be plotted at all. All right, and we're going to use that little trick to our advantage many times. Here. And so if you wanted things to be plotted super wide, 1.4 millimeters wide, you could use color 7 or 15 or 31 or 71 or 111. All right, so you're generally for the most part, the majority of our models are going to be worked here and under these columns here. Call them blue, green, or cyan. We use, for the most part, I tried to at least use these columns over here to the right, sorry, the left, the red and yellow columns as text. And a lot of the times I'll use these really heavy guys over here for borders, or if I really need to emphasize something. And so you'll want to have this printed out. It's in our supplemental files in the Canvas class, and you'll want to memorize these for the test next week. Okay, and I'm going to close that, and I'm going to do a new share back to AutoCAD. All right, so we're back to AutoCAD. And that's why Material 1, as you can see, is in fact green. It's using that classic 0.35 millimeters. That's just a nice line weight, okay? The next thing we have are the line types. And if I double clicked onto the line types, I'm going to change the line type of my construction layer, for example. I'm going to go ahead and choose center line, hit OK. And so I can change the line type of any of these things that I have available. Dashed, for example, material 2, all right? And so let's go back to construction. I change it to the centerline line type. It's on color 40. If there was going to be plotting, what would that plot out as? Let me check real quick. Color 40 would be plotted out at extra fine, because the color 40 is under the far left hand column. And so, all right, I'm going to occupy a construction layer, double click that, and I'm going to close my layer manager. All right, so we're back to the project here, which is develop the sensor mount. And so I'm going to start an X line right about, I don't know, there. Okay, and I want it to be vertical. So F8 to toggle on my ortho, and I'm going to zoom in. And the next thing I'm going to do is offset it, create myself an X line at the center point. So X line from, I don't know, right about here, nearest, there. Okay. So I have my construction lines. I'm going to offset that top construction line. My main dimension here, on the main dimension is at 5.5. Pick that X line and drop it down there. And so the thing about X lines are you really don't know the scale of the drawing yet until you start to really get a good feeling for it. And back in the day, we would use the limits command to try to contain ourselves. I've gotten away from that. I don't really think it's that useful. I think it puts a little bit too much strain on the operator to identify exactly their plotted scale of the part way too early. But that was what it was, the limits. In fact, there used to be a wizard, AutoCAD wizard. I don't even think it's still in here anymore. It would start up a drawing and you would draw it inside. I digress. I'm sorry. I don't mean to do that. And so now let's go ahead and start actually putting some stuff on the plan here. Before I do, I want to switch my layer. I'm going to go to good old-fashioned material 1. All right? It's not steel, it's not aluminum, it's not wood, it's not concrete, it's just material 1. Again, I did that kind of on purpose so that we can use it for pretty much anything. And frankly, if any of you guys want to decide to go to AutoCAD 3D, we'll use pretty much the same template there too. So close that. I'm on layer material 1 now, and I am going to draw the first circle. And so I'm going to type the circle command from there. And the radius, in this case, it is radius, is 1.5. And I'm going to draw another one, repeat circle. I'm going to hit right click. From there, the radius of the inside circle will be 0.75. All right. And I have a radius of 3.5 and a radius of 4.25 on that swivel, kind of that bend. Let's hold off on that for a minute, and let's look at some of the square lines first. Okay, let's go and develop the rectangular portion of the bottom part, and let's go ahead and start the rectangle command. Yeah, I'm going to start the rectangle command, and I'm going to use my deferred starting point using that from OSNAP. And it looks like I'm looking in the book here on page 2-32, number 4, sensor mount. The rectangular portion is 4 inches wide at the bottom, and it is on that 5.5 datum. And so I want to go half of that, which is 2 inches from the center line. And so shift, right click from that intersection, offset, and I'm going to send my cursor this way, and I think this will work, to, it didn't work. Let me try it again. It didn't work. I'm going to have to do the @ symbol. I do want the @ symbol. At 2 tab 0. Enter. And that's exactly what we wanted to do. So the rectangle command is starting at 2, +2 from my pick point, and 0 up. And so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to specify this corner, the upper left-hand corner, and I'm going to use the dimensions option. D for dimensions, and the length in this case will be 4, enter, sorry, and the width in this case will be 1.5. And I'm going to use the mouse. The last click for the rectangle command is I'm going to move mouse over to there. I don't want it there. Mouse it down to this quadrant. I don't want it there. I don't want it there. I want it over here. Click. And so that sets up the base of this sensor mount, right? And next, we have the 2.25. We're doing the low-hanging fruit here first, and so we're going to offset that X line, 2.25. But I don't want that to be construction layer, do I? I want that to be material 1. Let me show you one of my first trickies here. I'm going to use the match properties. Okay, so I'm going to use the match properties. Sorry, start the match properties. The heads-up display says to select the source object. The source object is this object here, and then I want to put those properties to that object. And what the match properties does is it copies and it applies the layer. Could be the layer, could be the color, could be anything. And so it just does everything. So, all right. And so that's that. And I don't really exactly know yet how. Oh, I do. It's 1.5, in fact. And so here, let me show you another little trick how I like to do something like that. I'll do a circle command, no, oh, not that. Do the circle command right here at the intersection of that top horizontal part, and I'm going to use a radius, use a diameter of 1.5. And using that, what I can do now is use the trim command and clean that part off and get rid of that temporary circle. And so now I've gotten, what I have here is I have all the low-hanging fruit items to build out this part. I'll use the explode command to open up this closed polyline, which is a rectangle, and delete that one part there. All right. And so now now the rubber hits the road. We need to do a reverse curve with the inside reverse curve has a radius of 4.25, and it has to be tangent to this center circle here. And so I'm going to just start this. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Undo. Clean these bottom halves of these circles off. All right. And in a reverse curve is special because the radius for both is on the same line. All right. And so let's see here. The thickness doesn't matter. Radius goes through there. Yep. Yep. Does anybody see how to do this one yet? Once you get the first arc, things will start to light up for you.
What was it called again?
We have to create a secondary arc, okay? And it has to be, it's a reverse curve. So I'm going to go back to my construction layer. I'm going to start a line from the center of the top curve. Get out of ortho mode. And let me just talk through this for a minute here. The geometry for a reverse curve places the center of two circles on the same radius. And that, see how these these lines are radial to two different circles? It's obviously, in this case, the radius here that I've drawn is obviously not correct. But that's what a reverse curve requires. And I'm trying to think really hard here how to do this with some magic, and I just don't think there's going to be any way to do that. Oh, that's how you do it. Haha. You guys didn't think I could do it, did you? 4.25 plus 0.75. Tick cal. 4.25 plus 0.75. That's it. Right there. That, people, the intersection right there, is the point. With a radius of 4.25. Woohoo! See that? All it takes is a little bit of geometry. That's all. We'll just trim that one, that one, that one. Get rid of the arc. And we're going to extend there. And we'll trim. Perfect. See how, remember I said a reverse curve, the radial lines from the inside to the outside have to be on one single line. And the trick to this one, and yeah, it was a trick. The trick to this one is recognizing that you had this dimension of 0.75, 0.75 to here, and we knew that this distance had to be 4.25, and we knew that the distance from the center point of that magical circle to this point also had to be 4.25. We knew that because the circle goes through the point. See, that really wasn't that hard, and it was not a how do you solve it as a tangent circle. It was how do you solve it with the geometry, and yeah, all right, cool. So now we can just bang this thing out, right? And so we'll offset. Use the offset command. Sorry. Offset. I'm going to use the T for through option. Pick the inside guy and put it through that point there. And the offset, even though it doesn't actually go through it, it still geometrically does. All right. And so how do we do that? We'll put that line back in there, and we'll drop a line perpendicular to there. And now we can extend. Perfect. And now, and regen it. And that, folks, is totally tangent. Okay. Check the radius properties. We'll pick that arc. We'll go to properties. Pull the properties over here. Radius is 3.5. Perfect. Okay, it just doesn't get any better than that, all right? And we're going to extend it. Like that. Extend that one. Trim the excess tail. I'm going to polyline edit this. So I'm going to start with the P edit. This one, yes I do. I'm going to join it here to here. Enter. I'm going to trim that. And I'm going to mirror. Oh, let me poly edit that one. Poly edit the inside. P edit. Here. This one and that one. And now we'll fire off the mirror command. 1, 2. From there, and we're going to go up. No. What happened? Something happened. Yeah, see that? It should be 2. Oh, no. That should be 1.5. So, they got screwed up somehow. 1.5. Yeah, trim. Ah, the book is wrong. Can't be done. The book is totally wrong. See that? It is not 1.5. I'm gonna have to send in some errata. Can't be done. Not the way the book shows it. So I'm gonna close that. We're gonna send that up. We'll send that up too. And then we'll polyline edit, p-edit. We'll join all the outside stuff around. Same thing for this one. Pick the inside curves. 1, 2, 3. Enter to complete it. And then we'll drop in those circles. And we'll do the circles, which is one inch from the right. So I'll do it from, at, 1 to the right. And it looks like it's 0.75 up, yeah. Tab 0.75. There we go. And the diameter is 1. Oop, 1. I did the same thing Genevieve did. I did a radius of 1. Okay. And the mirror command is my friend. Pick that guy. Pick that guy. Done. And then we'll match properties. Bingado, bangado. All right. And that looks pretty darn good. I'm going to hit save on that one because that one is like worth its weight in gold now because it took us an hour to do it. I'm in the wrong folder, whatever. And this one here is what? Sensor mount R2021. Okay. And so let's just bring this to the end. You're not done until you've put it on the border. And a couple of you have been submitting homeworks like that because out of the box, I think this thing is locked. Mine isn't locked because I must have tweaked it. But if you double click into, let me do it again. If you double click into the viewport and you zoom around with your mouse, you're gonna kind of you're looking at the model space. And now what I'm doing is I've got it close, and I'm gonna go down to the system tray and select my scale. 1/4 inch doesn't work. I think we're gonna go to 6 inches. Yeah. And lock that. All right. And now I can. Now that it's locked with the padlock, I can now zoom my mouse wheel and it doesn't move. And at this point, I'm going to just do some rough and dirty dimensions. So there's your 4-inch dimension. There's your, sorry, do that again. There's your 3.5. And I get too many O-steps running. I'm going to shut some of those off. Midpoint, endpoint, don't really want that quadrant there. Shut all that stuff off. Okay. And then we'll dimension that guy there. Perfect. Okay, you get the idea. All right. And so always change the drawn by, the scale, and who's he, what's it. And you're good to go. Now, finally, now that we've talked about the plot style, if I go to plot, and notice how I have the NHTI color-based. You guys probably haven't got it yet. And I'm going to go hit preview. That is a nice, clean-looking drawing. You can see very close, very clearly that the dimensions, which are red on the screen, are much thinner than the material 1 layer, which is green on the screen. And it doesn't look like much, but when you're looking at a plotted drawing on a plotter or a printer, these line weights really do matter. And people, it's just good to look at, good to the eye. And if your drawings look like crap, even if they could be correct, no one will believe in if they're correct. Okay, so they have to look good. And so I'm going to apply that to a layout, and I'm going to hit OK. It plots out to a PDF, and I would save it. All right, so let's cancel that. All right, so while I'm here ringing the bell about the plot style, let's deal with the plot style, shall we? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to new share the whole screen. I'm going to go back to Canvas. I'm going to go to Home. And I'm going to go to my AutoCAD supplemental files. All right. And we have downloaded this guy here, which is the color-based template from year 2018. Now I'd like you to pull down this one here, the NHTI color-based.ctb file. So go ahead and click that and save it to your computer. Now I'm having to use Firefox tonight. Chrome threw a rod on me. I don't know why. I'll just dump it into my downloads. All right. So you guys, hopefully you're following along with that. And let's now go back to AutoCAD. And in AutoCAD, we're going to activate the Plot Style Manager. And so I'm going to go to the big action A, and I'm going to go to the Print, Utility Flyout, and scroll down, and select the button that says Manage Plot Styles. Pulls up the Style Manager, and what I would do is I would open up another window for my downloads. There's my little download file that I just pulled down from Canvas, and drag and drop it into that there. And of course, mine already exists, so I'm not going to do it, but that's how you add your plot style to your AutoCAD installation. And as soon as you do that and you start a new drawing, you will no longer have the little yellow warning symbol here. All right. Let's take 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. I've got to go lick my wounds on that brutal exercise to develop that swivel thing, that sensor model. So let's go ahead and take 5. Is everybody okay?
I was just going to ask. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to ask because I wasn't able to complete the lab exercises. I was looking at the wrong book. Are we, I mean, what is expected to fulfill that assignment? Are we still expected to fulfill the 3 exercises that are due tonight?
Do you have the book?
I do, yeah.
Okay. You can get it in over the weekend. That's fine.
Okay.
If by some chance you can get it in by midnight, no points will be deducted. But don't wait until next week to do it. I'd rather you even upload something now. But
okay.
Don't worry about the grades. The grades, you guys are all gonna get A's in this class. I know you are. It's more important that you saw the sweat beads coming off my forehead, right? As I was developing this little sensor model.
Well, that's what I'm afraid of. If it took you an hour and you were sweating, I'm scared how long it's going to take me when I can do it on my own.
It's going to take you longer, but you would get it. Okay, you would get it. Yeah, I think this is a good class because it shakes loose the cobwebs in our brains about our 8th grade geometry classes. Okay. And it will absolutely make you, it will make you think like a draftsperson, no doubt about it. Yeah. All right, good question. Any other questions out there before we take a break?
I have one.
Yep, go ahead.
You said a really scary word. Test. What's that all about?
I was kidding.
Oh my God. I'm freaking having a heart attack over here.
I was kidding. No, there's no exams. There is one option. We could possibly take the AutoCAD user certification exam if you want, but you all will know better as we get closer to November whether you think you'll want to take that or not.
Okay, nope, that's fair. I thought I had to start. I was like, oh my God, I got to start studying for a test. And I got to memorize all this stuff and I got to practice all these drawings. And
No, wrong class. This is not that class. This is a fun class to actually learn something that you can use, not a history class.
Thank you.